I'm going to try not to have a long silence in the beginning like I did recently. How rude of me, right? Hello, everyone. So right now, no one is in the live stream yet. I'm only 23 seconds in. Even bigger YouTubers take times for them to get people in the chat, but I'm still going to start talking. So today is Monday, October 21st, 2024. It is 5:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been thinking about something recently. You guys know that I have talked about the Madeline Soto case several times. I've done several lives about it because it's one of those cases that really, you can't forget about it. I'm going to do a quick refresher for those of you who don't know. Madeline Soto was savagely and brutally killed this year in February 26, 2024. She's presumed to have been killed by Stephen Stearns, who was sexually abusing her for many, many years. She was only 13 years old when he took her life. That would, allegedly, but all the evidence is pointing to him so far. But definitely there's evidence that he was sexually abusing her, but they have not been able to confirm that he murdered her. But based on evidence, it looks like that's who did it, obviously, to try to hide his crimes. So yeah, Madeline Soto was the daughter of Jennifer Soto. Stephen Stearns was Jennifer Soto's off again, on again boyfriend for years. And Jennifer Soto claimed that she didn't know that Madeline was being sexually abused. She's acting oblivious. If you look up all the interrogation videos and interview videos of Jennifer, she just looks like mentally unstable. She's always shaking, looking bewildered, looking shocked, looking surprised, looking terrified. She's not looking like a regular grieving mother. She just looked like she's hiding something, or she was worried that the truth will come out. And the truth has come out, that under Jennifer Soto's roof, her boyfriend was sexually abusing her daughter. So yeah, I feel that there should be a law called Madeline Soto law. Normally I would say it should be Madeline's law, but I looked up Madeline's law and it looks like that's already a law for something else. So I think there should be a law called Madeline Soto law, which would basically have, it would basically like require the boyfriends or the girlfriends of parents who have children to get a background check. Lena Mikhauska says hi. Jay Bendeni. Jay Bendeni says www. What does that mean? But hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. So I feel like Staying Off the Grid says, wow, look at the gay trees. Yeah, the trees are beautiful. Nature is beautiful. Faze Muhammad says hi. Hi, Faze Muhammad. Lena Mekhauska says it's Lena Mekhauska. I'm trying my best to say your name. I try my best. Faze Muhammad says amazing video. Zubair Fayozi said there should be a law called Red Day. The government would basically facilitate for people to visit the red light district one time a year. I guess if that's something that you're into. But I don't really agree with that because there's a lot of sex trafficking. People are being forced to have sex with people. So I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. It would have to be a way to confirm that it's consensual. Shy Bada Floof says, could you wish my old lady a happy birthday? She really loves your content and she loves it. Her name is Gracie. Happy birthday to Gracie. Let me sing to Gracie real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gracie. Happy birthday to you. All right, J. Ben Denny says, do the gritty. I don't know what that is. Shy Bada Floof says, I also sub. Thank you so much. Please like this live. Staying off the grid says, so how long have you been gay? I'm not gay, sir or ma'am. Faze Muhammad says something video. I don't know what that says. Asia says hi. Hi, Asia. Staying off the grid said, why are you so gay? How you doing, staying off the grid? I think you need to look in the mirror at yourself, okay? Lena says, it's okay because it's a Polish and it's sometimes hard to say. Oh, it's Polish and it's sometimes hard to say. It's okay if you say it wrong. I'm not judging, but you have a good voice. Thank you. Lena, why don't you put how I should pronounce it in the chat? Because I don't like to mess up. I'll just call you Lena. Is it Lena or Lena? But your last name is hard for me to say. But it looks like Mikowska to me. But if I'm saying it wrong, go ahead and put how I'm supposed to say it. The Black Brother says, are you on the roof? No, I'm on the patio, so I'm up. I'm not on the lower level. Faze Muhammad has hearts. Zubair says she's under the water. Shai Bada Floof says, she said your singing is so good. Thank you so much. Demetrio Gomes says, I don't know what that is. That's another language. CR7 King says, hi. Hi, CR7 King. Faze says, amazing video. You main YouTube channel. Thank you. Lena says, you can say Lena any type you want. I'm happy with that. No problem. Kim says, your voice is so good. 100 out of 100. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Kim Millwood. Thank you. I appreciate everyone that came into the chat. So, yeah, I think that the Madeline Soto law will include things like parents who move their significant other into the home with them. They are required to have that person have a background check in the state that they're in and also the entire country, okay? They also should be, I think, fingerprinted. They should have some type of like psychological evaluation, just something to keep them on record, on track, to kind of somehow monitor them, because when a child has a parent who is no longer with their father or mother, and the mother or father is dating, the child has no say on who comes in the home. So I feel like children should have a say by having the law kind of speak for them, okay? So people should not be allowed to have randoms just move into your home, because look what happened to Madeline Soto. Her mother moved a predator into her home and she didn't know it, allegedly. She claimed she didn't know anything about Stefan, even though he gave her clues. There were a lot of red flags. He told her that he has dated somebody younger than him. When somebody was 15, he was like 19 or 20 dating someone. He's made inappropriate comments, and he's just over sexual, and she wasn't having sex with him. So I just feel like there should be more under the law, but I feel like those two things will be very helpful to help innocent children whose parents choose to date and they're not like a safe parent. Some parents are very vigilant for their children, and some parent like Jennifer Soto is not vigilant and they're not very careful. So there should be a law to help children, like to protect children from negligent parents. So I don't know, there should be something to do some type of check. Faye says Jan video. I'm not sure what you're talking about. CR7 King says that's so sad. That is sad. I've done several lives about it. You can YouTube Madeline Soto or Google it and you'll see all the information. It's really sad. So the man who was sexually abusing her and killed her, he's in jail right now awaiting trial. His trial is supposed to start in February. But I feel like we cannot let Madeline die in vain. Her death is definitely a wake-up call for a lot of people, but I feel like there should be a law as well. Just like you have Megan's law, you know what I'm saying, for sexual offenders to register and stuff like that. There needs to be a Madeline Soto law to help prevent sexual abusers from being around children unchecked. You know, Madeline Soto was around Stephen Stearns a lot. Her mother, hey, Faze, can you please stop spamming the chat? I don't know what you mean by Jan video. Vanessa Bexera says, what's your zodiac sign? I'm a Cancer. What's yours, Vanessa? I just feel like people in Florida, parents in Florida, lawmakers in Florida should definitely be trying to draft up a law that would help prevent tragedies like Madeline's tragedy. She didn't have to die the way she did. She shouldn't have died. She shouldn't have been abused. Vanessa says, what is that? A Scorpio? That looks like a Scorpio. So tell me about Scorpios. So Scorpio season is coming up. I think October 23rd is Scorpio season. So you guys have 2 more days. Vanessa says, much love from California. California knows how to party. R.I.P. Are you RIPing to Madeline Soto? Yes. R.I.P. to Madeline Soto, a 13-year-old girl who was savagely killed. She was just killed and thrown away like trash by somebody who is the trash. Stephen Stearns is scum of the earth. Men like Stephen Stearns is scum. Women like Stephen Stearns is scum. Anyone who supports Stephen Stearns is scum. Anyone who makes excuses for people like Stephen Stearns is scum. Victim blamers are scum. And I meant to really make I'm going to make my next live about victim blamers. I want to make a video, to be honest, about victim blamers. Victim blamers need to be stopped. Sometimes I don't know who's worse, the abusers or the victim blamers. The ones who like, well, she knew what she was doing. She was asking for it. People who... So it's just weird when somebody's abused and then people say they blame the person who's abused. Like, there's never enough accountability on these abusers. That's why abusers abuse, because there's people who's going to take up for them. There's people who's going to make excuses for them. So the poor victims and survivors are the ones living with the guilt and everything else that they should... That's not them. That's not something for them to bear. So I think victim blamers are just as bad as abusers. You know, abusers obviously can be victim blamers as well, but there are people who see people abusing or they hear of people abusing, and then they're somehow blaming the victim, like, oh, well, she should have known better. What was she wearing? She should have known better. Oh, she's fat. She's a slut. You know, everything. It's just a messed up mindset. And I actually was reading something recently about why people victim blame, and it was saying something like people do it because it kind of like makes them feel like, oh, that could never happen to me. I'm too smart for that to happen. So it kind of makes them have a false sense of security that, oh, because I'm smart, those things won't happen to me. You were just being dumb, and so that's why you were a victim. It's really kind of weird and sick. Really weird and sick. But a Madeline Soto law would be really important. Like, I don't live in Florida, but that's not stopping me from being able to write a letter or email to lawmakers in Florida to say, hey, have you guys considered Madeline Soto law? And it should just be nationwide. Every state in the United States should have a law that prevents parents who are dating from just bringing anybody in their home. There should be checks and balances, like, probably the wrong term I'm using, but there just needs to be a gatekeeper for these predators. These predators need to be stopped in their tracks. A full psychological evaluation needs to be done. We need to make predators think long and hard before they try to groom or try to date someone with children. Because there are sexual predators out there who target single mothers, or they target solo parents. They target parents who are overwhelmed and have emotional or mental health issues. Like, oh, let me take the load off for you. I got it. I can do it. Oh, you get some sleep. You got... Oh, sure, I'll do it for you. People who are like sometimes over the top and just doing too much, keep an eye out on them. Yes, there are really good people out there who are very helpful, but because there are predators out there who mask themselves as being good people, you just have to be extra careful. You can never be too careful when it comes to your children. You don't want that blood on your hands. If something happens to your child, you're going to be mad at the person who hurt your child, but then you are going to be mad at yourself because you're probably going to be like, oh my gosh, how did I miss this? You know, what could I have done better? Even if you did everything that you could as a parent, as a good parent, you're going to have some type of guilt and some kind of blame because you are your child's, like, number one protector. Like, your job as a parent is to protect your child. So when you allow people in that harm your children, it does shine a light on you. Like, what could you have done better? It is a learning lesson. Some people learn and some people don't. Zymami vlog says support Trump administration. That's it's a free world. Zymami, you can definitely support who you want to. Okay, Zymami says Trump 2024. You can vote for whoever you want to. When you head to the polls, if you do mail-in ballot or you do early voting or you vote on the day, It's your choice. As long as you're 18 and over, you have a right to make an informed or not informed decision on who you want to vote for. It's better to be informed, educate yourself. Make sure you understand what you're voting for and who you're voting for. But I'm not going to talk about anything politics. Like, I'm not going to share who I'm voting for or who I'm not voting for. Okay? Z Mommy says, I'm from India, but I support Trump. So how does Trump benefit you in India? I would love to know that. What do you like about Trump, and how would he winning benefit you in India? Does Trump have a really good relationship with the Indians? Has he done something for India that I missed? I'm not really caught up with all the things politics, but fill me in. You're going hard in the paint for Trump, so I want to know. But this is not a political chat. But I am low key kind of talking about laws, but how there needs to be a law for children. You know, the Madeline Soto law. I feel like it's a good idea. Someone who is educated in that and trained in that field, it would be nice to know what kind of things they would come up with under Madeline Soto's law. Like I said before, it should be background checks for anyone that is in close proximity to or living with children. They're dating a child's parent and they're not the biological parent. But, we all know that there are also parents biologically, they have children and they abuse. But I'm just talking about when you decide to no longer be with that parent and you're dating other people, you have to be more cautious. But how's everybody doing today? Fall is large and in charge. It's so weird because even though it's fall, it's not feeling very fall-y. And sometimes it gets like that. So like right now, it's feeling like, I feel like 70 degrees. So lately it's been in the 70s. And even next week is going to be in 70s. I think maybe like late next week or the week after, then it's going to start being in the 50s again. I'm not looking forward to the cold, but that's just how it works. And daylight savings time is on November 3rd, I think. And we had to put our clocks back. And if you know me, you know that I don't like daylight savings. But let me look it up. Daylight savings. Yeah, daylight savings is on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. So we'll put our clocks back. So for example, if it's 5:46 p.m. right now, we will put the clock back to 4:46, and I can't stand it. I really cannot wait until they stop daylight savings. But that's the least of the world's problems. There's more things that needs to be changed. I can live with the daylight savings if things would be better, like, predators not being allowed to live around children just because they're dating someone with children. People should not have free reign around children. Just like a teacher or school's got to do background check, even though some things can be missed on the background, because there are people who are criminals and they not on paper they might seem innocent, but they just weren't caught. So that's why I also think there should be some type of psychological test to see the way your way of thinking. It's very important to know how someone thinks, because how they think could truly affect your life. These talks need to be had. There's a lot of uncomfortable conversations that need to happen when we're dating, and it doesn't happen. And I'm guilty of that. When I was dating, I didn't ask all the right questions. It was like, I don't know where the uncomfortableness came from when it comes to dating. Like, I don't know if you don't want to upset people, you don't want to offend people, but when it comes to your life and your children's life, all bets are off. You cannot care if someone is going to get offended if you ask a certain question or you want to get a certain type of test or screening. If they don't want to date you, then they need to leave you alone, right? But if they want to date you, they got to do what you need them to do. They got to fit the bill. They got to meet the requirements. So You know, I have learned the hard way that when you're dating, you need to, there should be no stone unturned. You need to ask very deep questions, very direct questions. Listen to the clues, listen to their body language. Do they get upset when you ask a certain question? You need to know when you're dating, you need to literally know everything about people. I have failed in that department. You know what I'm saying? But you live and you learn. You need to know everything. How were you raised? What was your relationship like? What was your relationship like with your mother? What's the relationship like with your father? You know, who was the main people that you live with? What was your upbringing like? You can't just be like, oh, how many sisters you got? Oh, okay. How many brothers you got? Oh, where's your mom? You got to ask, how was the night? How was the home dynamic? Who raised you? Were you raised by your mother? Were you raised by your grandmother? Were you raised by your grandfather, aunt? What was the situation? Why were you not raised with your parent? Why did you spend so much time with your dad? Like, it just needs, you need to know everything. So if I ever choose to date again, I'm telling you, it's going to be everything, okay? Because it's so important when you have children. I don't know. I mean, yeah. You just don't want to live with regrets when it comes to your children, like anything that would jeopardize their safety. So if you, is that a bug? What kind of bug is that? Oh, please don't come next to me. So if you ever made mistakes in the past as a parent, it's okay. You live and you learn. You have to do better. You have to be vigilant now. Okay, because everyone does make mistakes. Sometimes we're going through things and we don't see things clearly. But once you know better, you have to do better. Copert Nick says, hi there. Random visitor here. That place seemed very quiet. Nice. Best regards. Thank you so much. Best regards. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. John Wick says, Copert Inc. was talking to my 13-year-old sister. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Please, let's make sure we know what we're saying in here. I don't want any, like, bickering or false claims.
Mommy.
Okay, thank you. KO per ink link says troller. John Wick says he's a troll. John Wick, I need you to be appropriate in the chat, okay? I don't do that stuff in here. There's a lot of different chats. I appreciate you trying to come into my chat, but there's other live streams that allow you to just do and say whatever. Let's try our best to stay on topic. If you don't have anything to add to the conversation, I would prefer that you not say anything at all or just leave the live stream. Okay? Please be productive. But anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but as parents, it's just our number one job to protect. So because Jennifer Soto was not watchful of her daughter, watchful of Stephen Stearns, her daughter is no longer here. But we have to make Madeline's death mean something now, since we can't get her life back. Let's make sure that other children don't fall into the same situation as Madeline did. Jewish Tunnel resident says, Copert Inc. Locke talking to his 13-year-old sister is disturbing. Have a good day, Mr. Tunnel. Have a great night. Have a great night. John Podesta says, I'm unsubbing. You guys, I don't know any of you in the chat. I don't know what any claims that's in the chat. I don't know anything about it. If you know my channel, you know I don't condone any type of abuse. Let me see here. Yeah, you guys are doing a lot. But John Wick, if somebody is harming your family, you definitely need to contact the police. But I don't know any of you in the chat. There are people who come in the chat and say random things just to get attention. That's fine, Cheese World. You can definitely watch the tree. Please watch the tree. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing great. Shout out to the people who come into the chat and who are positive and add input and make sense and are not inappropriate. That is appreciated. Anyway, everyone, let me see how much longer I'm not sure how much longer I'll be live, but I am looking forward to having some dinner today. I think I'm gonna have some hard shell tacos today. I think I'm gonna make some macaroni and cheese too. Anyway, but yeah, there hasn't been any updates lately about the Madeline Soto case. You know, we already heard that Stephen Stern's trial is supposed to start in February. So until the trial, there's really not much updates. Like, we've learned so much about the case so far. Let me see if I can Google something and see if anything pops up. Ooh, there's a video that I need to watch called "Why Did Stephen Stearns Make a 300-Mile Trip While Investigators Searched?" Okay. Coperlick says, ignoring the trolls, I'd say your voice invites together with the view to hang around a while. Thank you, Coperlick, Nick. But you guys know my kind of channel, I don't support any abusers, any harassment, and I don't know anyone in here. You know, I can only know what you say in the comments, but I don't know anyone in the chat. So if anyone is being abused by anyone in the chat, please report that to the police. Okay? Abuse is wrong. Okay, so the last thing that came up about Stephen Stearns, it says, trial set for Stephen Stearns and Madeline Soto murder. Let me see what it says. I'm not going to watch the video, but there is a video attached to it. Osaka, is it Osceola County? I don't know how to say that. I don't know why. If you're in Florida, how do you say that? Those trees look like Minnesota trees. No, it's not. It's Ohio trees. But I guess very close, right? Hello, Bio Ramirez. So it says, Stephen Stearns, the man accused of abusing 13-year-old Madeline Soto and killing her in February, will go on trial in September of next year. I thought they said February. See, I'm glad I read this article. I'm going to check one more article after this. It says Madeline was first reported missing on February 26th after Stearns, Madeline's mother's boyfriend, said he dropped her off near her school. When her mother went to pick her up at Hunters Creek Middle School around 4:30 p.m., she learned Madeline had not been to school all that day. Arrest made. All right, so we already know that stuff. Wow, so I thought the trial was going to be in February of next year, not September. That's like, oh my gosh. It's crazy that when you have so much evidence on someone, you know, their right to a fair trial, you know, you got to do that. But you have so much evidence. I never understood why a trial would be so far out, even with all that evidence. To me, trials that are pushed further is more like, oh, it's hard to get the evidence. You have a lot of digging. I just don't get it. Anyway, there's another article that says trial date set for Stephen Stearns, man accused of killing Madeline Soto. Let me finish drinking some more water. Hold on. All right. According to WFTV 9, trial date set for Stephen Stearns, man accused of killing Madeline Soto. October 14th, 2024. Kissimmee, Florida. So this is by Brittany Caldwell. A jury trial is set for September 22nd, 2025 for the man accused of killing 13-year-old Madeline Soto. The date was decided at a status hearing for Stephen Stearns on Monday. According to court documents, the trial will be at 9 a.m. in an Osceola County courtroom, or Osceola County, in an Osceola County courtroom. Documents show that Stearns appeared in court on Monday for the hearing, and a case was set for pretrial and trial. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Now okay. So it also says the assistant state attorney is instructed to provide body-worn camera footage to the defense attorney. Soto's body was found in February 2024 after being reported missing. Stearns was charged in Soto's disappearance and death in April. So, okay, so I was mistaken. I don't know, either they changed it, or I think I don't even want to say who I thought I heard it from, but I probably was wrong, but I thought I heard it on Grizzly True Crime channel that it was for February next year. So it looks like I heard wrong. So yeah, Stephen Stearns goes to trial next year, 2024. I mean, oh my gosh, we are in 2024. I wish it was this year, but he goes to trial September 2025. And I just wonder what's going to happen from now, because a lot could happen. He could crack and finally confess everything, trying to get like a lesser sentence. I don't know. You know, he's still going to be there for life, but maybe to avoid death. He could take his own life, which happens a lot. A lot of child abusers are very much cowards, and instead of facing the music, instead of taking accountability, instead of just doing the crime because they did the time, or I'm sorry, instead of just doing the time because they did the crime, they decide to take their own life. You know, they consider that the easy way out. Or his life could be taken in prison by someone else, because, you know, we've all been told that prisoners don't take lightly to sex abusers, especially children abusers. I've been told that if you go to prison and you did something to a child, like sexual abuse or something like that, the other prisoners who are against that kind of acts, rightfully so, take justice into their own hands, street crime, whatever you want to call it, you know, and hurt people. You know, if you guys know about Jeffrey Dahmer, One of the other prisoners took Jeffrey Dahmer's life. Jeffrey Dahmer, as you guys know, was like a serial killer. He lured, it looks like, mainly gay, non-whites, men and boys to his home, and he, took their lives, dismembered their bodies, I think, and he also ate some of them and probably did other things. And I forgot how much time he spent in prison before his life was taken in prison. So Stephen Stearns, we just got to watch and see what happens between now and September 2025. Is he going to finally plead guilty and confess of everything he did and say, yes, I did it? Or is he going to take his own life? Or 3, will someone else take his life? What do you guys think? Leave a comment. What do you think will happen to Stephen Stearns between now and then? Do you think nothing will change? She will still stand on 10 toes down that he's not guilty? But I think I heard somewhere recently that when you are facing crime, you automatically should say not guilty. I don't know. I forgot how I heard about it. But anyway, he should be ashamed of himself that he even thought it was okay to even plead not guilty. Dude, they have you on tape doing things. And it's crazy because at first, Jennifer Soto, she said she recognized that he was sexually abusing her daughter, but she didn't want to believe that he killed her. Like, this lady said she wanted proof that he killed her. That's how hard in the paint she was going for him. So I'm just really surprised that he's not saying like, oh, yes, I did abuse her, but I did not take her life, because he probably feels like the murder is harder to prove. But you can't dispute those videos and those pictures of you sexually abusing Madeline Soto, Stephen Stearns cannot deny that he was sexually abusing Madeline Soto. There's video evidence, there's digital evidence, media evidence of him sexually abusing Madeline Soto, an underage child. She was between, I don't know, 8 and 13 when he was abusing her for years. They found pictures and video on his phone that he so-called accidentally factory reset. He basically deleted his phone. He cleared his history and deleted all the images, and he thought that investigators wouldn't find the evidence, but they found it. It was in the cloud. They found the evidence on his phone that he was sexually abusing her. Thousands of images. Thousands. I thought I heard they said 60,000. I might be between 6,000. I don't know. It's a big number. It's not just hundreds. He had thousands of images of him abusing a minor, his girlfriend's daughter, on his phone. And even I think his father turned in evidence on the computer. So there's no denying that he abused her, but he can probably say, well, I didn't kill her, like, oh, because he's like, well, you don't have it on tape that I did her. But all the evidence points there. Technology can put him in the place of where she was, DNA, all that. So they may not have it on video, but they had eyewitness say that they saw him over there where they found Madeline's body, that he was changing a flat tire. So there's a witness that puts him in the same location that they found Madeline's body. So anyways, if you're in chat, feel free to add some input. What do you think? And if you're watching the live stream back, like if you're watching the replay, I appreciate you leave your opinions on what you think about this case, what you think should happen to Stephen Stearns. So there's a movie that I love so much. So listen. So most people, or not gonna say most people, Florida is a death penalty state. That means someone could be put to death for crimes that fit the bill. So I believe that Stephen Stearns, there's an option for him to be put to death, if he's convicted of everything, right? So I really just think Stephen should be put in prison for life. I feel like crimes like that, you should have to suffer. You should have to deal with harassment and and abuse and whatever else that comes with prison, because you were abusing and torturing Madeline for years. So you should be abused and tortured too. So I guess I kind of believe an eye for an eye type of thing. But I just don't think, well, he did kill her. So eye for eye will technically for him to kill Madeline. But I feel like he should have to live with and suffer with what he did to her, because he thought he was going to get away with it. What he did was savage. But people like him, I don't think there's any reform. You know, child predators, child sex abusers, they, you know, just predators, that's what they do. They prey. So it's not something that you can be reformed. Someone who has a habit, someone who is attracted to children, someone who preys on children, that's not a safe person. So I would understand why sexual predators should automatically be put to death, because that kind of behavior cannot be reformed. There are child predators out there who would tell you, like, I will do it again. If you put me around a child, I will do it again. Some of them will, there's some who would much rather stay in prison than to be out in the free world, because they know that once in the free world, they are going to find a victim. They are going to abuse a child. Some of them will keep it real with you. You know what I'm trying to say? They know themselves. So people like that, they should never be let out. And I would see why it would save money and everything else in space if you just took them out of this world. Because you can't reform them. What are they here for if they're not going to be able to change? Like, their mentality is sick. You know, but I used to not believe that. I used to be completely against the death penalty. I really did, because I'm like, oh, you know, just put them in prison. But some crimes, it honestly does make sense that they are put to death. As sad as it is to say that you're the one who chooses life and death, but that person is just mentally stunted into that kind of sick, abusive mindset that you can't change them. You know what I'm saying? There are some behaviors that cannot be reformed. There are some behaviors that cannot be changed. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So I used to be completely against the death penalty. I did. And one of my favorite movies is called The Life of David Gale. And it's a really good movie. It makes you basically reconsider your stance. Well, some people will never change. What I'm saying is it makes you think about the possibility that you could be putting an innocent person to death. There's some crimes that it's like, there's no way that we can say that the person didn't do it. Like, everything is, the evidence is there, the video is there, the witness, everything. But then there's some crimes that people are framed and they're put to death. So the Life of David Gale was basically saying that you shouldn't put people to death because you could be killing an innocent person. Right? That's why you have to truly know for sure before you put somebody to death. Like, you have to look at all different angles of the situation. I'm not going to try to give the movie away, but I'm going to give you a little info about what the movie's about. But I love that movie so bad. I saw it in college, and I really want to watch it again. I haven't watched it since college. So basically, like, almost 20 years. I love that movie. So it's called The Life of David Gale. David Gale. And Gale is spelled Gale. So David, David, Gale. It came out in 2003. It's rated R, 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's so crazy. I didn't realize that Rotten Tomatoes only gave them a 19%. So that was their review. It's on Prime. It's on Amazon Prime Video, Google Play Movies and TV. It's on Apple TV, and it's on Fandango at home. So The Life of David Gale, in a nutshell, is thrilling, intricate, and mysterious. So it says, David Gale, played by Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey is one of my favorite actors, but honestly, ever since he was accused of, I don't know if he was grooming someone underage, I feel like that behavior is disgusting, and it's a shame. So whatever punishment he deserved for that is what he should get. I got to look up on that story again, though, to see the situation, but basically he was inappropriate sexual with someone. I just can't remember the age. So I don't condone any of that kind of behavior, but this movie was before I knew what Kevin Spacey did, and I do feel like this movie proves a good point. So unfortunately, sometimes we do have to separate the person from the message, because even though the person is discussing, there is a message in what they're showing. And we can learn from bad people sometimes. Like people who have hurt us in our past, we unfortunately had to learn the hard way. So people good and bad come into your life and they teach you lessons. All right, so David Gale, played by Kevin Spacey, is a man who has tried hard to live by his principles, but in a bizarre twist of fate, this devoted father, popular professor, and respected death penalty opponent finds himself on death row for the rape and murder of a fellow activist. Constant Holloway, played by Laura Linney, with only 3 days before his scheduled execution. Let me say that again. With only 3 days before his scheduled execution, Gale agrees to give reporter Bitsy Bloom, played by Kate Winslet, the exclusive interview she's been chasing. I forgot how the movie ends, but I think it was not a good ending. But it was a good movie overall, and I'm really, really surprised that Rotten Tomatoes only gave the movie 90%, because to me it was like an 80% movie. Hello, Pastor Dean. Hello. Pastor Dean says hello, y'all. Pastor Dean, you had left early, but you made a good point or something yesterday in the chat, and I was just giving you props for that. I can't remember what you mentioned in the chat. I think I asked the question, you answered it. I don't know, but you were brought up in the chat by me, and I just don't remember what it was. But hope all is well with you. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to take the time one day to watch The Life of David Gale again to see if it really was a good movie. Because when I saw it, it was almost 20 years ago. So I was younger. I'm older now. So I would like to see the movie again to see, do I still feel the same? Does my mind change? But like I said, I am really still surprised that Rotten Tomatoes gave it 19%. And it's crazy because Rotten Tomatoes is like a really respected, like, movie review site or organization. Let me look at what Rotten Tomatoes is. Rotten Tomatoes. Tomatoes. So Rotten Tomatoes, they review movies and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is they are highly respected. When you look up a movie or something, Rotten Tomatoes will come up as I guess they rate movies and TV shows. I want to see the about section. Hold on. That's an ad right there. I can't get it off. Anyways, so even though like Rotten Tomatoes is respected, I disagree with some of the things that they think. I really do. I disagree. So they thought that David Gale was a bad movie. I disagree with me thinking about what I remember with the movie from 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. But again, I would need to watch it again to see if I agree with Rotten Tomatoes. Like, was the movie that bad? They gave it 19%. And I'm going to read why they gave it 19%. Let me see. No, they gave it 81%. Hold on, I think I'm reading it wrong. Yeah, okay. So my mistake. They gave it like 80%. So I think 19% gave it Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know. I think Rotten Tomatoes didn't like it. Anyways, let me read what they said about it. Because I feel like I'm not understanding how the reviews are done. I think I'm not understanding. Hold on. Well, IMDb, another like actor movie review site or organization, they felt the movie was good. But let me see what Rotten Tomatoes was saying about the movie, why they gave it such a low rating. No, but it looks like 81% liked it and 19% didn't. I don't know, y'all. Let me go ahead and read. So Critics' consensus. Critics say instead of offering a convincing argument against the death penalty, this implausible, convoluted thriller pounds the viewer over the head with its message. I guess I can agree with that. They did pound it over your head, but you got to agree that it made sense. It was easy in the movie. I'm not trying to give it away. It was easy in the movie to frame someone for a crime. It was super easy. The movie showed you how easy it is for crimes to be faked. You know what I'm saying? But I think the critics who don't like it is saying that that's still not a convincing argument against the death penalty. I don't know. Alex OG Kari says, hello, how are you? Somebody said, anyway, I think it was a good movie. I think it was a good movie. I definitely would watch it again. Have you guys seen the movie, The Life of David Gale? What do you think about it? But you look at Kevin Spacey. Let me see what they said he did for sure, because I feel like I don't have all the information correctly. I want to make sure I got it right. So Kevin Spacey, let's go back. Okay, sexual misconduct allegations. So here it goes about Kevin Spacey, the actor. In 2017, Spacey faced several allegations of sexual assaults and sexual harassment. Actor Roberto Cavazos, filmmaker Tony Montana, Richard Dreyfuss' son Harry, and at least 8 people who worked on House of Cards accused Spacey of various types of inappropriate behavior. In the wake of these claims, Netflix cut ties with Spacey, shelving his biopic of Gore Vidal and removing him from the last season of House of Cards. His completed role as J. Paul Getty in Ridley Scott film All the Money in the World was reshot with Christopher Plummer. Spacey has denied the accusations and was found not liable in a 2022 lawsuit in New York. In a separate case in London, he was acquitted by a jury of sexual assault charges in 2023. So he has accusers, but by law they said that he's innocent. But just because someone is just because a judge, or a jury says that he's innocent doesn't mean he is. So I'm gonna side with the victims, the people that accused him. And you just can't associate with people like him. When it comes to stuff like that, like say I had a friend, right? Say I had a friend or I knew someone I really like that was accused of sexual abuse in several people, not just one person. And especially if children are involved, like there's no way I'm gonna support them. Like, look, you may have been cool with me, but I didn't know who you really were. And I cannot be around someone who's accused of crimes like that. So respectfully, please, stay away from me. Alex OG Kari says, so how are you today? Oh, Alex says, hello. I'm sorry I missed your message. Alex OG Kari says, hello. Alex OG Kari says, so how is your day? Or how's my day? My day was fine. It was a little bit unexpected in the afternoon. Something unexpected happened and kind of annoying, but it is what it is. All is well. Everyone's safe. I'm happy. My children are here. I love my life. I love my life. I'm happy to be alive, to be a mother to my wonderful children. I'm happy alive to try to help myself become a better person more and more every day. I don't want to go out mad and sad. I want to go out knowing that I did my best and I'm happy with the woman that I have become because I'm a self-made woman, like my counselor said. Shout out to my counselor. She called me a self-made woman, and I had to I had to think about it, because I raised myself. I had to mold myself into this woman. I have been through some things, you know what I'm saying? I had to pull myself out of some dark places by myself. I've always felt alone. I've always felt like no one cared, no one could understand me. And I had to learn that I don't need your approval. I don't need you to love me because I love myself. Self-love is so important, y'all. For real, for real. When you love yourself, no one can make you feel insecure. No one can make you feel inadequate. And you won't miss their presence anymore because you love you. So if you don't want to be around me or you don't want to act right to be in my space, then you need to go bye-bye. Okay? Deuces. Deuces. For real, for real. If people don't want to act right, you got to tell them deuces. And sometimes it's like, sometimes we can admit that we have toxic traits. And so you want to remove yourself from situations that would have your toxic traits interacting with somebody else's toxic traits, and it's create a very bad situation. So it's best to remove yourself in that situation, heal on your own time, grow on your own time, do what you need to do. Don't worry about what other people are doing. The only people I'm worried about are my children, literally. I care for others, but I'm only worried about my children. That's who I value, whose opinion I value, whose love I value, whose presence I value. Period. Nick says we should be proud of ourselves. I agree. If you have survived any trauma in your life, shout out to you. We are survivors. Shout out to you if you're trying to be a better person. Shout out to you if you're learning from your mistakes. Shout out to you if you're healing. Okay, shout out to you. We made it. We are survivors. And every day is a new day to do better. Okay? Cause I'm trying to make it. I haven't heard that song in a minute. $1 Million Baby. It's like that song blew up and now it's like kind of died down. Like, it's still a great song. He's talented, but it's so crazy how like somebody could blow up and go viral or be a one-hit wonder and then you don't hear from them again. But the song still lives on. I would love to like make a hit single, and if it's only my only song, that's how I would be okay with that, because it will live in people's minds and hearts forever. Like, a great song lives forever. So you got to respect like musicians, you got to respect songwriters, because they make such great art that we love and appreciate for years and years to come, and from generation and generation to come. Alex OG Kari says, I just subscribed to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're appreciated, okay? Thank you so much. Let me pin your message. Thank you so much. Maybe you can encourage others to subscribe as well. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. My channel is called Why Are Humans Like This? I'm always asking why. I've always asked why since I could ask why. I always want to know why. And sometimes I want to understand people and learn about people, why they do the things they do, and not necessarily because I want to excuse any of their bad behaviors or traits, but just to understand people and why. And then like knowing people's kind of behaviors and stuff like that will help you with the future. Like, it's good to know the start of something, the root of something, so you can be alert into what to look out for. You got to look out for the red flag. So knowing why something is or how something happens could definitely help you with red flags. Alex OG Kari says, I also like. Thank you so much. I'm going to come off in like a few seconds. I appreciate everyone who joined in the chat. I appreciate anyone and everyone who gave this live a like. I appreciate anyone who came in and was positive and was upbeat and added something to the chat, or just watched in silence and gave the video a like. I appreciate it. feel like I just dropped something. Oh my goodness. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'll get it later. So if you came into the beginning, middle, or end, I appreciate your interaction. I appreciate your support. It is really appreciated. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys like the scene. I appreciate y'all rocking with me despite not seeing me, but you can hear me and you could feel me. And that's the bomb. And I think that's why I also like the show Love at First Sight. No, that's not what it's called. Is it called Is it Love at First Sight? What's the popular show that's on now, you all? What's that popular show? Oh my god. What's his name? Time and Love is Blind, y'all. I think that's another reason why I love the show Love is Blind, because that's how I would ideally want to meet someone that I would fall for. But at the same time, looks do matter. So I feel like you should be given an idea of what the person looks like. I don't know if I believe in total blindness, because some people are really shady once they meet you and they realize you're not their type. It's very important to date your type. So important. If someone tells you, oh, I usually date big girls and da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da-da, that's all I've dated, or I've only dated, I only date white women, that's all I date, and say you're not white, I'm not saying people can change their minds, but it makes me think differently. If you're more geared toward a certain type of population, then I think you should stick with that. You know, trying something new, please don't do that with me. Try it on somebody else, because some people do want to try you. They want to experiment. They want to fetishize you or whatever. I'm not down for that. You need to like me, my type, my height, my everything, or you need to go somewhere else. I don't want people to settle for me or compromise, or, oh, I guess I could rock with that. I could rock with that. No, you need to be for me 100%. I need to be your flavor. Okay? So that's something you need to pay attention to when dating. In my opinion, some people might disagree. Some people might say, oh, people can change your mind, or I thought that was my type. No, I've always strayed from my type and settled, because it's like, oh, I did so much settling because my self-esteem was so low, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I should have stuck with my standards and stuck with my type. But just when you have a lot of trauma, you were sexually abused as a child, you make poor decisions when it comes to dating. It's like all toxic or settling or being manipulated, it's easy to fall prey to things that are not for you. Deidre B says LOL. Oh, and Deidre B says confidence. Thank you. Alex Ojikari says I live in Greenland. Oh, that's really cool that you live in Greenland. I'm sorry that I missed your comment. So it's cold over there. It's so funny because isn't like Iceland not cold? And then Greenland is the cold one. I think that's what I learned a long time ago. That's the funny part. Let me Google it. Iceland versus Greenland, because I thought that was a really fun fact. Deidre B says, yes, no sex before marriage. I agree. I feel like girls should be taught to hold out, and boys should be taught to hold out. Don't do it because everybody's doing it. And that's why it's important for children not to be abused, because they make better decisions when they are taught boundaries, when they're not violated. Nick says, I found it nice passing by. Kind of chill out show. You seem an interesting person. Thank you so much. I think I'm very, very interesting. I can talk for days. I always have a thought. I always have a what if or why. I'm just a talker. I love to talk. Love for chats. Yeah, that's just me. And even if I have one person in the chat, one person in live, two person, I'm gonna talk. I'm not gonna stop talking because no one's in the chat or no one's in the live or no one supports me. I'm still gonna talk. If it's a passion of mine, it's something I feel strongly about, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna get it out. And some people may agree with me and some people won't, and that's okay. It matters how I feel about it. And I can definitely stand corrected. If I ever get any facts about any of my stories or whatever, let me know. But no one is going to be able to tell me about my life and my experiences. No one walked in my shoes in my life. So your opinion of me is none of my business, and your opinion of me doesn't matter, because that is your opinion. You have a right to it, but you don't know who I am. And that's how we should all operate from. We let people get into our heads and make us question ourselves and make our self-esteem low. There's a lot of hurt people out here walking around trying to bring you down with them to make you be as low as them. You know, misery loves company. Don't feed them. Starve them out. They want drama. They want to be messy. Let them be messy. Don't engage. Gray rock. Gray rock. Deirdre B says, 1 out of every 3 children. Cool. Is this your YouTube? Yes, it's my YouTube channel. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm a survivor of trauma, childhood trauma, and I like to make videos about survivors of domestic violence, child abuse, things of that nature. Alex OG Kari says, I also talk. Deirdre B says, everyone has an opinion. Hold on. All right. Everyone has an opinion. I agree. Everyone has an opinion. I try my best to make informed opinions too, about things. Some people like to just talk about what they don't know, what they assume, what they think, and they have no idea. Alex OG says, bye, have a nice day. Yeah, so I'm going to get off live now. I appreciate you all. I feel like I've been rambling, but I'm going to go live again tomorrow around this time or earlier. Definitely before dark. We're not doing any more darkness out here now. Anyway, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next live. Hopefully a video soon, hopefully a short soon, but definitely you will see a live, if anything, from me.